Breaking news! There's a buzz around the city, there's a vibe around the place because there's one man who's arrived in Namma Chennai who's making the hair bounce and the heads turn. What is going on? Internationally acclaimed hairstylist, world-renowned personality has come to Namma Chennai and he's made so many models, so many actors look their very, very best. But the big question here is, the natural question here is, what is he doing in our city? Let's find out. That's right, celebrity hairstylist, founder of Placid Salon, Vella artist and also the official makeover partner of Mrs. India World. This man's got to be special from hair to toe. Welcoming Placid Braganza. Vanakkam and welcome. How are you?
Thank you. Thanks for that excellent introduction.
Thank you for the excellent information that you are spreading across. And when I came across that Placid, who doesn't know Placid in the fashion industry? When I came across the news that you are here, I had to come and ask you a few important questions. The main question, Placid, how was the auto ride? How was the sapat? I saw you looking very interestingly at the dosa, at the rice.
My ears were smoking. Like I could see, I could feel it. I went red, but it was the tastiest food I've ever eaten.
What happened to the hair? Because we are worried about the hair, not about the ears.
It got curlier.
Oh God. Okay, Placid, you've been to Chennai before and there's always a phase where we understand what hair can do to a person, whether it's woman or man. It's a huge thing that changes. You look after your hair, you get the perfect style, you get the perfect look and feel and you maintain it well. It changes your personality, your confidence on the inside and the outside. What are you doing in Chennai exactly and what brings you to this wonderful city that we call home?
My excellent collaboration with Naturals Academy is what brings me here. I'm here to educate the team, to take them to the next level, to make them realize the importance of grooming. And when I mean grooming not just to give your client or the customer that perfect haircut, but to share tips and tricks with clients on how to wear their hair every day. And that's what makes the big difference, or that whole phase of bad hair day changes when you do what's suitable for the client. And you share those tips and you share those tricks as to, if you give them a haircut, how are they supposed to wear it every day?
Correct. It always looks good at the salon.
Exactly.
They set it, you go so nicely, you show it off and you go back and have a shower and you get, like, what did he do exactly? I don't know.
And actually it's not so difficult, if it's actually about doing the right thing. So if you do the right thing to hair, it has to look good every day. So that whole thing of bad hair day is just erased. And also, I feel like when someone comes to a hairstylist, they have such great expectations. Like, just give me something that's absolutely, but how much of time are you willing to invest every morning to make sure that that style looks good on you? Maybe minus.
How much time does it take to do this?
So I think every head of hair is different. So you need to make sure that, you invest, whether it's a few minutes every morning or whatever it is, put in the right product.
Correct.
And educate and keep educating the customer so that when you walk on the streets, it's a signature of your style always looking great.
Absolutely. So they always say the perfect look, the perfect finish, the perfect fit. I'm sure you have some do's and don'ts of what is the perfect hair for your shape of the face. But what I understand is you've come to Chennai to pass knowledge, to pass expertise. I'm sure you've been asked by a lot of great academies to tie up with them. You chose Naturals Beauty Academy. There must be a big thought process as to why Naturals Beauty Academy and the value that y'all are sharing with each other. Can you tell me a bit about working with Naturals Beauty Academy?
So absolutely, it was just absolutely an honor. When I got the call saying that would you be okay to collaborate, and I was just like, of course.
It was a hair-raising offer.
Of course, why not? I've been following the brand and know that how it has grown from strength to strength, and they absolutely believe in giving women the opportunity, whether it's with their franchisee opportunities or just with grooming Chennai and South India. So I want to be part of that, and that's something that I said that I want to be part of, because the kind of reach that this brand has, and that they've reached out to South India, every corner, every household. Natural is a household name,
Yeah, it is.
and that's what I want to be part of.
Fantastic. I'm sure you're adding great value, and they're doing great justice to the information that you are passing on, which eventually affects the common man, because Naturals is a common man, like you're saying, household name. It's a common man's accessibility style platform. That's exactly what you are doing. But Placid, tell me a bit about hair. Now firstly, there's always this thing in style and fashion. We see nails, we say, oh my god, there's so much we can do with nails. Then suddenly comes this trend of eyelashes, and there's so much we can do with eyelashes, with makeup. Have we understood the value of hair and the significance of the right hairstyle? You've done makeovers for amazing artists, common men, models. Have we understood the value that hair can have on an individual?
I think that's definitely changing. It's definitely changing. I think there's a lot of importance given to hair now, because literally, like they say, you can have your hair well done, and you can wear the most simplest outfit, and it's sorted. So I think that is changing. And also fact, like people come to a salon because they want to feel good.
Yeah.
A haircut is a feel good factor.
Yeah.
And besides that, getting the right haircut is what's important, right? Yeah.
So, obviously everyone can't get their hand on Placid, but of course we can understand what you are doing through the expertise that you're passing on through Naturals. Can you give us some tips on what is the right hairstyle and what's trending? Now, for my face, for your face, for everyone's face around, there's a different hairstyle, and their work profile speaks about it as well. What are the do's and don'ts of the proper hairstyle?
I think the number one thing is definitely that's something that suits your face, but it's understanding your hair type. So if you have hair that is thin or is not great in texture, I think the first thing that you need to do is try and address that. So if you have an issue of different densities on your hair, if you're thinning on the top, or if the hair is extremely dry, so changing that texture is the number one priority. So once you start,
this is the second best looking thing on the table. First is you, then is coffee.
Thank you. You're very kind. So understanding your hair texture, understanding how you can make the quality of your hair look good, and then comes in, what is the best hairstyle or the best haircut for you. And I think that's something that you obviously need to leave to an educated hairstylist who can figure that out for you, because round faces need a little more framing around their hair. Smaller faces need something a bit more, nothing too heavy on the top, a little more sleek back, so that it exposes face a little more. So all these kind of factors are important in designing the hair.
Heartbreaking is one thing we all come across in life, but hair breaking is something when it happens, that's a big problem.
Yes.
So what, according to you, they say, for skin you have lots of water, for different parts of your body you have certain good daily routines. Is there something that one must or must not do for healthy hair? Texture is something that you are born with, but maintaining its health is something that is in our hand, and experts like you pass that on. So
it's actually not so complicated. It's extremely simple. It's the same rule with skin applies to hair. A good cleanser for your scalp. Make sure your scalp and hair is clean. That's the most important thing. And the level of hydration. So if you have dry hair, just make sure it's hydrated enough. If it's oily, just make sure you wash it enough. So I think there are so much of available products in the market. You just connect the dots and just but cleansing, moisturizing, hydration, these are all the key things that you need to keep in mind for a healthy scalp and hair.
Is it true that, or is it a fact that the Indian hair is different from the other parts of the world? Seeing our heat, seeing the culture, seeing the lifestyle, do you treat hair differently for people in India, or how's it?
I think it's not only
it's universal.
Indian hair.
Okay.
I don't think it's Indian hair. Like in India itself, like when you come to Chennai or when you go to Bangalore, when you go to Mumbai, hair behaves so differently because the humidity levels are so different. And the number one thing that affects hair is humidity. So if the humidity levels are high, your scalp gets greasy, your hair gets frizzier. So it's actually just from place to place, even in India.
Yeah, correct.
So,
You know, we've heard of bad hair day, but with you, it's a good hair life because you have made a brand for yourself. And you know, back when
Thank
I
you.
was in school and long time back, what do you want to become was the normal question. Doctor, scientist, engineer, because we believe that's where the money is. Today, perception has changed, Placid. People are seeing the fashion industry, seeing vocational skills, seeing different industries as a great source to make a living and create a personal brand. You've done that. So when it comes to hairstyling, makeup artist, that's again a very, very interesting profession. You need to have the passion, you need to learn the expertise, go to someone like Nationals Beauty Academy, pick up the skills and then create a brand for yourself. Can you tell me a bit about if one wants to become a hairstylist, should they or should they not? And how does one go about this? Because there's no route map. If you're a CA, you know this exam, this exam, this exam. Doctor, you know study, 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 and then operate. What about a hairstylist? Where does one get the right education and knowledge to follow a career path like this?
So I absolutely think that, and I'm a believer that if everyone becomes a doctor,
Yeah.
an engineer, an MBA, who's going to cut hair?
Okay. It will just fall intention.
So someone has to cut hair,
Yeah.
and I think that everybody needs a haircut. So
Yeah.
there's enough of
course.
space for everybody.
Of course.
And I think education for hair has changed so much, just not only all over the world, even in India. You know, there's this formal education. When I trained 24 years ago, it was just watch what someone else was doing and just pick up. So you don't know. So it was trial and error. And I've done bad haircuts. You know, I mean,
You have done bad haircut.
I have.
Even God makes mistakes. We have heard that.
so I think it's all a learning process, and now all of that information is documented, and they have some great schools even in India and all over the world.
Correct.
So and it's such a big science. It's no longer, it's not only skill.
It's an art and science combined together.
Combined
Yeah.
together, because you know you're dealing with emotions, people's emotions.
Yeah.
Science in the sense it's the scalp, the hair, and you know there's so much that goes on with it, because you're also dealing with chemicals. So with the right education, I think it's definitely one a sort of profession. And in terms of how well you can do, sky's the limit.
You're talking about the money in the bank balance. Yeah.
You know, so how well you do. And it's not only, I believe that you can have an excellent skill, but what comes with it is because you're dealing with human beings and you're
Correct.
dealing with people.
Correct.
It's your people skills that take you somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, and especially because you're dealing with clients on an everyday basis. Someone has to come to you because they feel comfortable on your chair.
Exactly. Yeah.
They need to be there, and
They trust you.
yes,
And they should
feel
know
that
you
you're
understand.
You're not going to judge them. You know, they're there. They'll cry to you about your bad hair days. They'll cry to you about their husbands, their wives, and their family and stuff.
It's a very difficult job that you are doing, my friend. It's a very difficult job.
You know, so it is.
It's a connect. It's not just
a
hair
connect.
cutting or
Yes,
styling,
yes,
but you
yes.
connect to an individual.
Yes,
You become
yes,
a
yes,
confidant of
yes,
your.
yes.
So how important is formal education in this? You know, we understand that people think, okay, we put makeup, we watch a YouTube video, we think we're makeup artists. Okay, we cut my brother's or sister's hair, now we can do it, it's fine. Formal education, something like a Nationals Beauty Academy, other relevant academies that pass information on formally and give them an opportunity to explain, experiment and educate. How important is that, and do you see that finally taking shape in India, where the youngsters can look at that and say, look, that's what I want, and the parents will say, yeah, that's a great profession, because we in India are quite orthodox in career choices.
So formal education is definitely the way forward.
Yep.
I'll tell you why. Is because number one is when you look, you know, sometimes clients come in as well, or just you look at someone and you say that, you know, even after your haircut, there's something off, and the hairstylist can't pinpoint. You can't pinpoint as to what is off.
Yeah.
What is off is the suitability level is really wrong. And that's where formal education comes in. So creating hairstyles, creating looks that are individual and suitable to the client, and that's where the education will come in. That's where formal education will help create tailor-made looks for clients.
Yeah. And what's trending as such, because now tailor-made looks is something that a person individually wants, but in today's real world everybody says, I want what that actor, I want what Placid did on that individual. I saw your Instagram page, I went through it and I was searching. Normally I don't complain looking at women, I couldn't find any man except you, yeah, and I was like, even men have hair, Placid, what's going on? Okay. So what is trending, and how important is men in hairstyling? Of course women have a lot more that they can do with their hair, their color, their styling, that's great. But I think today the metrosexual men also, like, you are setting a benchmark. You have a style that people would aspire to have, might not achieve it easily but aspire to have, and this is something which is just hair and no style. Okay, so men in hairstyle, why should men look at hairstyle a bit more seriously?
Absolutely, I think that is something that is changing as well, and it's not only in the metros of the country. I mean, you look
generally all over, correct.
You look at the internet and you open Instagram and see, you'll see someone from the smallest city taking a selfie with adjusting his hair. So people are become conscious of it. So that is definitely changing, and men definitely. I think I've had fussier men clients than women.
Oh, you have? Okay.
So it's definitely something that they are very aware and very conscious of. And
Okay, tell me, today we are going to create a world record on your Instagram. For the first time, you are going to show a reel about doing man's hairstyle. You should try that. What's trending, Placid? For the women, what's trending? Because what you are seeing trending very soon becomes a need for every common woman or man. That will be passed on to the team at Naturals. Naturals will be passing it on to the consumers. So can you tell us what is trending at large?
I think what's trending is very, this very natural, realistic looking hair. Nothing that looks too overdone, or nothing that looks like, someone has spent 3-4 hours trying to put it in place.
But don't try it at home. Just because it's natural doesn't mean don't try it at home. You like cold coffee?
Yeah.
No, a lot of cold if you want it. I thought you were waiting for it to turn cold.
I don't like hot. I don't like hot coffee.
Yeah. So the trend is keep it natural, keep it low profile is what you're saying, not too done up.
Too done up. And I think that's what you look at fashion all over the world right now, whether it's with clothes or it's with makeup or it's with hair. Everything looks very organic, looks very like undone, but at the same time very stylish. I think somewhere we're moving back in time, like I think fashion is evolving, revolving. It all comes back to the old times.
We're going back to the 80s, the 70s.
So
you see, cycle.
You see elements of those with a little modern twist. So whether it's a little bit of a flick in the front, it's a side bang, or it's that classic bob that women used to wear in the 60s, to something a bit more longer now that looks a little more relaxed and not so like strong. Like those kinds
That's
of
the trend. Okay. I have this thing, like you were saying, was very true. It's a very personal connect you have with your hairstylist. Before it used to be, I'm going to barber. Now don't call me barber, call me hairstylist, because it's become a field of pride, prestige, and a lot of respectability. That's what it's become. Absolutely. So, there's this time I say that I always go to this person who used to cut my hair when I was in school. You build such a rapport, you trust your hair and your heart to very few people, and that's one of your hairstylists. How important is it for an individual to try different hairstylists or go to that same person who understands you the best? I want to understand from a consumer's point of view or the client's point of view, should we try this stylist, try that stylist, go to Naturals and try this stylist, go to the Naturals and try the other stylist? Or because you have built a rapport, like you said, go to one person because only he understands you. So is it a marriage, or are we going to have affairs?
No, I think absolutely it is absolutely fine to experiment with different hairstylists. I think, and also in fact when you go to a particular hairstylist for the first time, there's a lot more that you need to share in terms of information about yourself, about your personality. And sometimes it takes a couple of haircuts, even for the hairstylist to figure out what works for you. So you can't judge someone by the first visit. So you give them a couple of chances and then, possibly see if they have different options for you. If not, absolutely.
I said that this talk is going to be a life-changing talk. Two ways. One, it will change the way you live with your hair. That's life-changing. And also give you a right idea if one wants to become like Placid. There are a few like you in the world who have created this brand. I want you to tell the people who are watching, who want that inspiration, who want that information, who want that guidance, how can or what is your roadmap to becoming an individual that is globally renowned in the field of makeup, styling, and fashion?
I think now a lot of youngsters are getting into it because of the whole glamour and fame.
Is it all glamour or is there
there's
hard work like what we all do?
Yes, there's lots to it. I think the first, and I think what worked for me was the first few years, I focused so much on making sure that, there was nothing that I didn't know.
Okay.
So it's education, education. So the first few years, I think it was, and you can learn from just about anything and everyone. So if you have the passion, I think you focus first on, being extremely, you excel in your craft. You need to make sure that you excel in your craft. So there should be no area of hair that you probably don't know or have not tried.
Correct.
And then then you take your path as to whether you want to be a hairstylist who's known for color or hairstylist who's known for haircut, and then you can just streamline into the category that you wish to go into. But I think the first few years is just being there. You cannot be, it's a lot of hard work.
Experience, exposure, errors, do all of that.
All of that, and you just have to be there. You have to give it those 8-9 hours, probably 5 to 6 times a week. Be there, just keep doing it, and that's the way forward.
I think you had it a lot harder when you were trying to create this brand of yours and create this name of a globally, internationally acclaimed hairstyle. You had it much harder. There was no path to do it. I think today, thanks to you, thanks to National Beauty Academy and the other similar, you have a path that says, come and learn. Get educated, and you'll be assured as well of security and a job, and you'll be given experience.
Correct. So
isn't that a great platform for youngsters?
Absolutely. So if you come through a reputed academy like Naturals Academy, you are your first 2-3 years of your career where you probably still don't know where you're going.
Exactly.
Or, is all the path is guided along because your education is up to date. So those initial years of error are all sorted out for you. So it's a lot, I wouldn't say it's a lot more quicker, but I think it'll be a lot more, what's the right word? I think it'll be a lot more smooth riding.
Okay. Less bumps. And more bangs on there. Okay, how interesting is the life of a makeup artist stroke hairstylist? How interesting. I've seen your reel, like, music comes and the girl flips hair, like, who's this girl? That's the first question. But tell me a bit about your experiences. I'm sure you had, some memories with the best artists, some with some amazing actors, some with the common men who came with you with a lot of hope and dreams and wishes and saying, please give me a new look. And then you see the sparkle in the eyes and the beauty in the hair. Talk to me about experiences.
It's absolutely that. It's priceless after you've done something and you see that customer.
It's priceless. I heard you're very expensive.
That smile for you.
The smile is,
when that customer smiles at the end of your job. That's just the most amazing feeling. And I think that's what drives, a passionate hairstylist who loves their craft so much. Is coming in every day and seeing people smile. Coming in every day and seeing lives change, whether it's, like you get messages or you tell, you hear of people saying to you that, after this haircut is just, my confidence
has
level
gone up.
has gone up to another, another level. So that, and if you impact someone's life, like in terms of their confidence level, you don't need therapy. You don't need a therapist.
They say how to boost your confidence, how to feel better. They say read 100 books, go to many seminars, go for a nice haircut, and you will feel extremely confident.
Absolutely.
What about the memories? I mean, to make a lady happy is very difficult. They're so particular about everything. But I think there's something that you and Naturals have. There's a little bit of a magic mantra or a wand you all have that everyone goes and comes out very, very happy without complaining. Tell me about experiences. Is there this one haircut or one celebrity you worked with, you say, that was my best. Do you have that? Is there any individual whose hair you cut and you said this was my best haircut? Is there something of that sort? This actor, that individual, is there one experience that you have?
So you're saying like
A celebrity of
like
sorts.
a trademark hairstyle that I created?
Yeah.
There are so many.
Yeah.
I sound very like egoistic.
No, that is fine. Next to me, everyone's humble. So tell me about one hairstyle that you set and this is my trend. This is the Placid look. Is there one thing like that?
So I think definitely this whole sensation of this butterfly haircut, which is going around right now, is something I did, very early in the days. That has become a huge trend now. And I think that just one that I can think of. And then there are many other instances, but I definitely think this butterfly haircut right now, which is trending for women, is something that I'm very
you have
proud
set up and extremely proud of. Okay, finally, Placid, for all the youngsters who are watching, what everyone wants to be a part of the industry, everyone wants to make a benchmark, but who or what attributes would you see if you have that in you, you're meant to be a part of the industry? Whether it is the enthusiasm to learn, whether it's the passion to experiment, what would you see and say, if you have these skills, if you have these characteristics, you're meant to be a part of the industry?
Definitely your love for the job. You have to love this profession to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's a lot to it, like your patience level, hard work. It's like standing 8 hours in a day sometimes. So you have to love it to be part of it. So passion is number one.
Yeah. And I think the enthusiasm to keep learning, the way you are coming in and passing information, you are still growing, you're still learning. I can see that.
Yes.
You're experimenting.
Yes.
Finally, your sweet memories of Chennai. You've been here before. You will be back. You're a part of the National Beauty Academy family. So tell me a bit about you and Chennai. What is it that you'd like to try? More auto rides? You want to go in the Chennai metro? You want to go in the bus? You want to have filter coffee, which is supposed to be hot but have it cold?
I don't like hot coffee.
Oh, you don't?
It's the food.
Yeah.
I love the food here.
Yeah.
Oh my god. The food is like a riot of flavors in your mouth. And then you're trying one thing and then you go in and try something else and it's just amazing. I think it's the food.
It is what's on the plate, it's also what's on the head when it matters. Thank you for being here. It was very nice to have you, Placid.
Pleasure.
And we do understand what you have shared with us are years of your struggle, years of your errors that you're putting in, you being a part of the NBA, the National Beauty Academy, you being a part of them, passing on your values, which they in turn pass on to the clients, common men and women like me. I think it's a great transformation of ideas. It's a great platform you've given people to also come and be a part and grow as a career option as well. Thank you very much. It's been wonderful. I always say it's a great experience. I'll say it's been a hair-raising experience. Thank you, Placid.
Pleasure.
One more cold coffee for him, please. Okay, thank you. That was a wonderful talk with the world-renowned, internationally acclaimed hairstylist Placid Braganza. Now here on National Beauty Academy, on this YouTube page, we talk a lot about style, fashion tips and expert interviews. To be a part of all of this, to follow all of this, what you need to do is follow our YouTube page. All our updates will be notified to you. Like, share, comment and subscribe to this channel. And until then, be naturally stylish.